Hi guys, welcome back to Randomly Random Reactions. I'm your girl Bwame. Now, I feel like I'm one of the few people in the world who has not yet watched The Notebook. I've heard so many people rave about it, about what a perfect love story it is. I've actually heard girlfriends try to break up with their boyfriends because they didn't cry over the movie. And of course, we live in a social media age where I have seen some short clips of the fight scene in The Notebook, but I have never watched it in its entirety. So today, we're gonna watch a recap of it and see if we get the hype. Let's get into it.
Hi guys, cinematic recap here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain an American romantic drama movie called The Notebook. The movie begins in a modern-day nursing home, where an elderly man named Duke reads a romantic story from his notebook to a fellow patient. The story takes place on June 6, 1940 at a carnival on Seabrook Island, South Carolina, where a poor lumber mill worker, Noah Calhoun, is hanging out with his friend. At that time, Noah is attracted to a 17-year-old heiress named Allie Hamilton, who is spending the summer in town with her parents.
Sorry guys, why does it... Oh my god. I think I forgot to complete my lip. We can't continue this video with ashy lips, okay? Where is it? Okay, this is the Mate or Matte Charm Look Professional Makeup Lipstick. Let's see. Guys, I'm not really a makeup girly, so... Okay. Better. Now we can continue.
He learns from his friend that she is the daughter of a very wealthy man. Although Allie is playing with her friends, Noah immediately approaches her and asks if she wants to go on a date with him. A confused Allie does not seem interested in him and decides to walk away with her friends. Noah, who is totally in love with her, looks for other ways to get her attention. While Allie and her friends are enjoying the...
He just met her and he's already in love with her. I guess when you know, you know. When you know, you know.
Ferris wheel ride, Noah suddenly jumps in the middle of the ride and calmly introduces himself to Allie. He also asks her for the second time if she wants to go out with him, threatening that he will jump from above if Allie refuses his request. Thus, Allie is forced to say yes because she is scared for his life. The next morning, Noah pursues her again and asks her to go with him on a date like she promised at the carnival last night. At first, he is devastated to learn that Allie has changed her mind. Noah then says that he will do whatever Allie wants. Even so, she still does not want to date him. That night, his friend, Finn, and Allie's friend, Sarah, set up a date for Noah and Allie in a movie theater. Inside, both of them are constantly looking into each other's eyes and smiling. After watching the movie, Noah takes Allie for a walk instead of going home with her friends. Afterwards, Allie tells him what she does every day, and it is revealed that her parents have been controlling her life all along. Because Noah feels her life is less free, he tells Allie to do something different that will change her life by laying in the middle of the road, explaining to her that his father and himself used to do this. Allie initially does not want to do it because it is dangerous, but because the streets are quiet, she finally wants to give it a try. A few moments later, a car comes by out of nowhere. Luckily, they are able to run away before the car hits them. Thus, Allie thinks it was funny and laughs it off. After that, they start to dance and enjoy the beautiful moments, especially for Allie, who has never felt freedom in her life before. Since then, they fall in love and spend most...
Okay, so I would say that is actually a very good first date, you know? No bad vibes, just feeling free, living life, you know, living free. It's actually an interesting first date, a movie, and then do something crazy. Would you recommend that to anyone? Let's continue.
Their time together, starting of their summer romance. One night, Allie goes over to Noah's house and meets his father, Frank Calhoun, who warmly welcomes her. She brings her painting for Frank and eventually learns that Noah used to stutter as a child, so his father had him read some poetry aloud to stop his stuttering. After that, they have dinner together and also have a great conversation. Day by day, the two of them are very affectionate. Nothing can separate them. In fact, Allie is getting closer to Noah's family and friends. They also often go on double dates with Finn and Sarah. Later, Noah is invited to Allie's house by her parents, John and Hamilton. At the party, Noah shares about
They look like uptight parents.
his current job as a lumber mill worker and makes 40 cents per hour. Hearing this, everybody in the table goes into silence mode,
Oh, you shouldn't have
indicating that
said
her
that.
family is unimpressed with him.
Shouldn't have revealed
And
what
then
he
tells him
earned.
that Allie is going back to New York after the summer vacation, which obviously makes him very sad. That evening, Noah takes Allie to the abandoned Windsor plantation and tells her that he intends to buy and restore it for them. While there, they attempt to make love for the first time, but Allie is nervous and rambles about not being ready for it. Shortly after, they are suddenly interrupted by Finn with the news that Allie's parents have the police out looking for her as it is late at night. Hence, both of them rushes back to Allie's house as quickly as they can.
Really? How long was she gone for? Like what? And I'm sorry guys, maybe I didn't catch it. Do you know how old they were? Like were they teenagers or young adults? I'm quite confused. Are they teenagers in this plot or are they young adults? Let me know in the comments if you've watched The Notebook in its entirety.
Her parents, particularly her mother Anne, make it clear that they do not approve her relationship with a poor man like Noah and forbid her from seeing him. Overhearing Allie's mother's insults, Noah decides to walk out from the house, but Allie immediately chases after him. An argument breaks out between them, and Allie breaks up with Noah, which she immediately regrets it. A brief scene shows Duke and the old woman at the
What was the
beginning,
argument
who
about?
says that Allie must have been devastated and Noah should stay with her regardless of what her parents say about him. The next morning, Allie learns from her mother that they are returning home to Charleston that day, a week earlier than originally planned. Even though Allie does not want to, and still forces her to come with them. Therefore, Allie tries to meet Noah at work one last time, but she fails because Noah goes to deliver the goods, so she asks Finn to tell him that she loves him very much. When Noah returns, Finn informs him of Allie's message earlier and he rushes to her house. Unfortunately, he finds the gate already locked. Noah writes a letter to Allie every single day for a year, but Allie's mother intercepts them so Allie will not know about those letters.
Oh wow.
After 365 letters, Noah stops writing and decides to put it all behind because he
What? He wrote a letter every day? 360. You know that guy that is telling you he was busy and leaves you on red for 3 days? You know that guy, you know who I'm referring to. Girl. No comment.
does not get any reply from Allie. Therefore, Noah and Finn continue their life in Atlanta. They enlist to fight in World War II, where sadly Finn is killed in battle. Meanwhile, Allie volunteers as a nurse's aide in a hospital for wounded soldiers, where she meets Captain Lon Hammond Jr., who asks her about going on a date. He is very rich and works as a lawyer. In no time, the two fall in love and after a few years, Lon asks her to marry him, to the delight of Allie's parents. On the other hand, Noah comes home from the war and finds out that his father has sold their house so Noah can buy and restore the Windsor plantation, just like he promised Allie. He then convinces himself that if he restores the house, Allie will come back to him sooner or later. When Noah travels...
Did you hear that? He convinces himself. You know, sometimes to get what you want, you have to be delusional. He convinced himself that if he rebuilt the place, if he renovated the building, she would come back to him. Wow.
To Charleston to get approval for his construction plan, he accidentally sees Allie walking by the side of the road. Unfortunately, he is very shocked after seeing Allie kissing another man.
Right, it has been years, of course.
He still restores his dream house with Allie, with the same hope that she can come back to him. It can be seen at a glance.
Wait, you know, he wrote 365 days to her. I wonder if she ever tried contacting him. You know, because I feel like there should be some sort of mutual effort, you know? It shouldn't be just one-sided. I wonder if she tried to write to him and her letters also got intercepted by her mom. Is that addressed in the movie? Let's continue watching and see.
In the current timeline that the nurse asks Duke and the old lady to have lunch first before continuing their story. Afterwards, Frank dies, leaving Noah alone with the house.
Oh.
In just about 10 days, he puts the house on sale. Many people want to buy his house, even offering him more money than what he wants, but he always finds a reason not to sell it to them. One day, while Allie is being fitted for her wedding dress,
if he doesn't want to sell it, then why did he put the house on sale? What kind of logic is that? Why did he put the house on sale? You know what? I feel like this movie recap is just, we will have to watch a second recap, to get the fuller gist of the movie, because this movie recap seems to just be sailing along, and I feel like they are missing some things. I'm still not getting the full picture of the movie, but yeah.
She spots a story in a newspaper about the house Noah has completed, causing her to faint for some reason. Apparently, she is overwhelmed with memories and unresolved feelings for Noah, so she asks permission from Lon to take a trip before the wedding. She then returns to Seabrook to find Noah living in their dream house. However, the story has to be stopped again because the doctor has to check Duke's health. On the other side, the old lady feels as if she has heard this story before. It turns out that Duke has had 2 heart attacks over the last 18 months. The doctor tells him that his attempts to recover the old lady's memories will be in vain as her dementia is incurable, but Duke still believes that he can recover her memories, while continuing the story. Allie wants him to be her friend after explaining everything about her affair.
Wait, is Duke Noah and is Allie the old woman? Okay, let's not spoil it. Let's continue watching and see. Let's find out.
With Lon. With his fortitude, Noah invites Allie to dinner together while reminiscing about their memories at the house. She also wonders if they really loved each other in the past. When Allie wants to go home, Noah asks her to come back the next day because he wants to show her a special place. Back to the present, where Duke's children and grandchildren come to see him at the nursing home. They get acquainted with the old woman. When she leaves, his children want Duke to come home and live with them because of his futile attempts to recover the old lady's memories. They also promise to take turns visiting her. At this point, it is revealed that the old woman is Duke's wife. In the end, he still wants to be with his wife and believes that a miracle will happen. Later, Allie stays at the only hotel in Seabrook. On the other hand, Lon is very worried about her condition. She said,
I'm confused. The old lady is Duke's wife? So those are their children. And their children were trying to convince him to leave his wife in the nursing home alone? What kind of children are those? I'm sorry, but what? Or isn't she their mom? If that is Duke's wife and those are Duke's children, is she not their mom? Except she's their stepmom or something. Look.
Is that she loves him very much and will call him tomorrow. As promised, Allie goes to Noah's house the next morning. The two rekindle and consummate their relationship. Noah takes her around the lake in his boat in the midst of many geese while feeding them. In the middle of the lake, a rainstorm comes in their way. Because of that, Allie feels the freedom in her life again after a long time. Even she cannot control her temper and asks Noah why he did not send her any letters. She eventually learns from Noah that he sent her 365 letters. Noah says that is not the case. The most important thing is that their relationship is not over.
Wait, girl. You're asking him if, okay, I get that this was set in 1940. So then maybe the men pursued women more. But girl, you also did not write to him. Did you write to him? Did she write to him? That is a bigger question here. Isn't it both ways? Did she even try for over 1 year, 365 days? Did she ever attempt to contact him? Did she ever attempt to write to him? And she is here angry and asking why he didn't write to her. Girl, please.
Yet. They soon return home and love each other passionately. The following morning, Noah has gone somewhere and surprises Allie with a canvas and her painting kit. She then freely paints on the balcony of the house. After a while, and suddenly appears on Noah's doorstep to warn Allie that her fiancé has followed her to Seabrook. Allie also uses the opportunity to confront her mother about the letters that she's been hiding from her for years. Thus, Anne apologizes to her and asks Allie to go somewhere. She wants to reveal that, like her daughter, she once loved a lower-class young man and still thinks about him to this day. When they return to Noah's house, he is already home and Anne finally gives Allie the letter.
I feel like that is predictable. Like in most of these movies, like the mom or dad also loved someone who they didn't really end up with, you know? Yeah, but I get her parents. Her parents want the best for her in terms of economics and just her financial situation, you know? They want her to be comfortable in life. I get her parents, you know? This is an instance where you don't know if you should go with your head or with your heart, you know? Let's see what she goes with.
Noah wrote, hoping her to make the right choice. After that, Allie explains to Noah that she has to go now, since Lon has arrived in
Her
Seabrook.
mom kept the letters.
Knowing this, Noah is very angry at her and thinks that she will marry Lon because he is a very wealthy man. After an emotional argument with Noah, Allie makes the difficult choice to drive back to her hotel. With her confusion, she almost hits a car in the middle of the road. She then decides to read one of the letters from Noah. Allie gets very emotional and starts to cry while reading the letter. The scene moves to Duke and his wife. For some reason, the old lady is very sad to hear the story. Duke then invites her for a candlelight dinner which the nurses has prepared. The old lady becomes more and more curious about which man Allie will choose. Back in the hotel, Allie meets Lon and confesses her infidelity to him. He is very confused about the situation and does not know what to do next. In spite of everything,
Leave her,
Lon
duh.
says
She
that he still
cheated on
loves
you.
her and wants her back, but he does not want to force her to marry him.
Man.
Therefore, Allie decides to return to Noah in the end. At the end of the story, Duke explains to his wife that Noah and Allie live happily ever.
Look at me acting like I'm so surprised. I mean, we could foresee that she would choose her heart. Yeah, we could.
After. Because of that, the old lady starts to remember that the couple in the story were themselves. The old lady is Allie and the old man is Noah. It is finally revealed that Noah deliberately disguised his name so that Allie's memories can return naturally. They hug and love each other. Allie then asks how long it will be before she forgets again, and Noah tells her it will not be more than 5 minutes, so they start dancing to their favorite song for some time. When Allie asks him about their children, Allie suddenly relapses and starts to panic.
Beautiful.
Hence, the medical personnel have to put her under sedation to calm her down, which makes Noah feels devastated. Afterwards, Noah looks at photos of their memories and it turns out that during the early stages of her illness, Allie had written a journal detailing their romance and life together so Noah could read it to her to help her remember. The next day, Noah suddenly has a heart attack and is immediately hospitalized. On the other hand, Allie is sent to a dementia ward in the same hospital while feeling something empty inside her heart. While recovering that night, Noah is eager to meet his wife. Even though he is not allowed in at first, he eventually visits Allie's room, and this time, she remembers him.
Bro, this man is on the verge of death. You still want to keep him from visiting his wife? Like what? What? They are two old people. Like, let them see each other. Duh. Like, what? It's not like one has a contagious disease. Huh? And watching, like, life is so fragile. Like, you can live your life, meet someone, love them, love on them, love each other, and then life just hits. Like, your memories just go like that. And then all of a sudden, all that is somewhat nothing. You can live your life loving someone, making children, all of this, and then at the end of the day, you get a terminal illness. Like, sometimes life is so tragic, you know? Yeah.
She is afraid of what he is going to do later if she does not remember anything, and Noah assures her that he will always be there for her all the time. They end up kissing, holding hands, and falling asleep together. The next morning, a nurse comes into the room and finds them both dead, with their hands still clasped together. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I have heard actually real life stories like this. I think about 2 years ago, I saw something like that in the news where a lady died. She was about, I think, 89 or so. And then 2 days later, her husband also died, 91. Like souls that can't live without each other. Okay, so what my general thoughts on the movie? You know what? It's nothing impressive. Yes, as human beings, we are emotional people. We are sentimental people. So I get that the story of love overcoming all things really gets to people. But the story in general is nothing that we have not heard or seen before in other movies, you know. The storyline is nothing exceptional. Of course, I haven't watched the full movie, but with just this, you know what, let's watch another recap. And just see from that recap's perspective if there's anything new we can learn. And then, yeah, we can make a decision. So let me do that. Let's see. I have a few recaps here. Let's try this one. Through thick and thin. Let's see what this recap is about.
Mill worker named Noah Calhoun who fell in love with a 17-year-old Erin.
I don't like the pictures. I want something with moving images, you know? Like
Employers see.
That's an ad. Let's lower the volume of this ad and try to skip it. Okay, let's watch a second recap and see what goes on. This recap is about 10 minutes. Let's see if we learn something new, you know? Because I'm just not really moved or impressed. I feel like the movie is predictable and all of that.
Now, don't I get any say in this?
So we start off with this guy Duke reading a story to this lady Allie.
All right, now, where did we leave off?
Which is a terrible way to start a story for a patient with dementia.
Who was the knight of the carnival?
And this guy Finn just won a prize for his girlfriend, but hits on other girls on his way to go see her with his friend Noah.
I am no one special.
Noah sees the girl that Finn's girlfriend is with, and he's like, she will be mine. Oh yes,
Okay.
She will be mine.
This recap
But
is more
unfortunately, she's
expressive.
on a date with a member of the Lollipop Guild, and they're going to go on the Ferris wheel. Allie is scared of Noah, but Sarah convinces her that he's nice. She's also not very observant.
No, I'm surprised he even came over. I think he likes you.
Noah climbs up between them. We see that the Lollipop Guild guy is quite the scholar as well.
So it's really nice to meet you. Who's this guy?
Noah then asks her out on
I'm sorry, did this guy just jump? Did he just jump onto the Ferris wheel? Did he just like risk his life to introduce himself? Couldn't he have waited? What? Wow.
a date. She says no, but he threatens to kill himself if she doesn't.
She doesn't actually say yes, does she?
Well, she doesn't want him to die, but I think the Lollipop Guild does.
Don't do me any favors.
No, I want to!
You want it.
Yes!
You want it.
And so does the Carney, who doesn't even try lowering him to safety. She agrees on the date and then takes off his pants.
Why are you laughing?
And some girls I went to college with think that this is the most romantic story that they've ever heard.
Is that right? Oh, I don't think so.
The next day, he sees her and he tells her that he's obsessed with her and that he would change his entire personality to be with her.
I can do whatever you want. You just tell me what you want, and I'll be there for you.
So she tells him that she was just kidding about the date.
I don't know if
and
that is romantic
well, he
or
looks at it as try harder,
silly.
stupid, and begins stalking her.
And when I see something that I like, I got it. I love it.
Their friends set them up on a date, and she isn't happy about it. But Finn and Sarah made her so uncomfortable that she agrees to let Noah walk her home.
I'm a stupid woman.
She says that she's organized and on a strict schedule. So he says that she doesn't know how to have any fun, so he lays down in traffic.
What happens if a car comes?
You die.
He says he does it all the time, but he doesn't even get the color order right.
Watch them go from green to red to yellow.
You're dumb.
They then almost get run over, and she thinks it's the most fun she's ever had.
Adventures are for soldiers, or for the women the bullfighters fall in love with.
So they go back out into the street to maybe die again.
I keep trying to die, but they won't let me.
So they start spending a bunch of time together, and she finally goes over to meet his dad, who tries to cockblock him.
Oh, you want some breakfast?
She is pretty soon, Dad. She starts showing signs of mental decline.
Hey, I'm a bird.
Maybe from all the paint fumes.
That's a damn picture there.
There's also signs of bipolar disorder.
I hate you. I hate you.
Her dad finds out that they're seeing each other, and it acts really weird for a guy who just saw his daughter with a boy. He wants to meet him, so they have lunch where they're disgusted by him being poor. But Finn is there, and they have the same job, so I don't know why they have this reaction.
He is trash. Trash. Not.
See, this movie is giving us more context. So his best friend who had the same job with him was also other. I think the difference is maybe Finn did not expose how much he earned, because in the other recap, this guy clearly told the whole family that he earns 40 cents an hour or whatever. Why are you disclosing how much you earn? Like, just keep that to yourself. What?
Trash. Not for you.
What did they do for a living?
I'm not sure about everyone else, but I'm pretty sure her dad ties women to railroad tracks.
He's a really good man, Noah.
So that night she goes to Noah's house, but since his dad has a crush on her too,
That Allie out there?
they break into this abandoned house to
Wait, I hope that was a
hang
joke.
out.
Is that all?
Yeah, it's not much, but I don't need a lot. Well, he wants to buy the house one day, and she promises that she'll help him decorate it. And talking about the future makes them want to lay down on the ground, probably with a bunch of broken glass on it. Well, Noah's really excited about the future, but Allie romantically rambles on and on,
Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking right now?
making his firm stance go soft as she babbles.
Well, I guess it changed my mind.
Finn bursts in and tells him that her parents called the cops because her mom doesn't approve of Noah. Her mom says that he's going to ruin her future,
She will wind up with her heart broken or pregnant.
and Noah agrees.
Yeah, a gigantic piece of crap.
So he dumps her, even though he can go with her to New York and live for free.
You can come with me.
What am I gonna do in New York?
Me.
And she takes it well.
So he dumped her. The other recap said they got into a fight and she dumped him. So basically he dumped her first. No, dump is such like a distasteful word, but he broke things off first, and then it led to her getting angry, you know? I get it now.
And then she goes all bipolar again.
No, just wait a minute. We're not really breaking up, are we?
Seeing an opportunity, her mom wants to take her home a week early. Well, she goes to the
Yeah, so that was her reaction to him breaking up with her. So it wasn't the other way around, like the first recap said. If you're watching it for the first time like me, I hope you clock it.
lumberyard to say goodbye, but he's not there. So Finn tells her that if he wants to talk to her, he'll write her a letter. Well, he does end up writing her, but her mom intercepts the letter.
No post on Sunday. No blasted letters today!
Doesn't she have his address? Couldn't she just write him?
Well, that wouldn't be very ladylike or some crap. So he and Finn move to Atlanta.
Hold on.
See what I said? So because, okay, I understand the times. The setting of the plot was in 1940, so I get it though. I get it. I'm thinking millennially, you know, I'm thinking 21st century, you know? But yeah, I get it though.
He made it sound like he never wanted to move.
Shut up. It's okay for rich guys to marry richer women and live off their money, but poor guys get laughed at by their friends if their wife makes more money than them. It's a really crappy double standard. But in this case, it really doesn't matter, because they just turn around and join the army. And Finn dies immediately.
Well, you can't have everything.
Allie becomes a nurse, and a statue asks her out. Don't make it any harder than it already is. She falls in love with him super quick, because he's a lot like Noah, but with money. Also,
He was handsome.
Okay, so I get the context now. So they met at the hospital when she was treating him. Like she met the other guy at the hospital. She was his nurse. I get it now. The other recap didn't really give more details on who this man was. So yeah. Or, I mean, how they met. The other recap gave details of who he was. Said he was a rich lawyer, whatever. but they didn't really give context to how they met. So yeah.
Smart, funny, sophisticated, and charming.
All of which Noah wasn't either.
Well, your parents must love him.
He proposes, and then she immediately starts thinking about Noah. Well, Noah gets back from the army and buys the house that he saw her naked in. He thinks he sees her and stupidly jumps off a bus and runs into traffic to find her.
You're gonna kill yourself!
I've lost track of the number of times I've been killed.
But when he does, she's with Lon. So he starts thinking that if he rebuilds the house just like she wanted it, she'll come back to him.
Noah had gone a little mad.
So the old lady is super invested in the story now, and she wants him to skip to the
Me
end.
too.
But he's like, well, we're just about to get to the best part, which apparently is Noah's dad dying.
You say that every day, you old devil.
Well, he finally gets it done, and when she doesn't show up, he wants to set it on fire.
Leave it alone. Let it go.
But puts it on the market instead. He keeps turning down people who are making offers on the house because he thinks that as soon as he accepts one, she'll show up looking for him. But that doesn't stop him from dating this lady with no lips.
Noah was desperate.
Somehow, Allie's wedding announcement is on the same...
Okay. That is a plot twist I didn't see coming. That is a plot twist that was not provided in the other recap. You see why it's good to watch? Yeah, I knew the other recap was missing some things because I was like, why do people really rave about this movie when it's just like, meh, you know? Okay, so he was sleeping with other people or that woman while he was waiting for her. Okay. What? I really didn't expect that. But yeah, can you blame him? I mean, she's with someone else. So, yeah. And I'm sure it's been years. So, like, it's been years. He's been waiting for her and she's not showing up. But it's quite silly. It's like, why wait for someone when you can go to them? Like, you saw her in Charleston. Go ask people, you know? Apparently, she's from a rich family. She can easily be found. Go and ask, where can I find Allison's family's house? This, that, and find her. Instead of waiting for her. Like, what? You broke up with her in the first place and then she moved back, right? So it lies on you. The burden lies on you to go pursue her, to go find her if you want her back.
Pages the article about Noah fixing up the house. So seeing his picture makes Allie need to take a bath and stare at it. She goes to Lon and tells him that she needs time alone because she doesn't paint anymore.
So paint?
She drives to go see the house, and he just stares at her like a serial killer.
You okay?
Paying for your Showmax is easy. Just choose your preferred payment method from these.
Sorry about the ad.
So she leaves, or at least tries to. She has a crappy car that stalls if it gets lightly tapped. Noah then creeps up the side of the car, and she worries that he's gonna kill her, but he just asks her to dinner. At dinner, he reminds her that they're in the room that he saw her naked in.
Oh, so now I'm a tramp.
And this makes Allie really uncomfortable. But not as uncomfortable as when all of Duke's children show up and stare at her until she feels like she needs to leave.
Stop being dramatic and at least take some of the responsibility.
They go on a boat ride, even though he knows it's about the storm.
Why does everyone like to stand around and talk in the rain in movies?
And she
Just
figures
putting
that during the
yourself in
monsoon
danger.
is the time that you need to confront him about not writing her a letter. But they kiss because he told her that he did write. A little too much, actually.
I wrote him 365 letters.
You trophy?
Yes.
They go upstairs, where she's much quieter this time. And also this time,
It's going to be really hard. Okay, should I be worried?
Martha shows up
Why did you say that?
and at first is upset. But then Allie invites her in, and now is happy that Allie came back to him.
I'm really glad that I came, Noah.
And since she was there all day while Allie was trying to get all...
Oh, so, I mean, he was serious with the other girl for a while. Okay, you see, this is context I didn't get in the first recap. You know? Wow.
the Noah she could get, there might be a good reason why.
She's sensational.
What does that mean?
But Allie's mom shows up to Noah's house to let her know that Lon is on his way. She was supposed to be back yesterday, so her dad told him about Noah. She then takes Allie to see this guy and tells her that she wouldn't let her date Noah because she was jealous. And if you do the math, this guy might actually be your dad.
You are 17 years old. You don't know anything about love.
I waited for you for 7 years.
She will wind up with her heart broken or pregnant.
25 years ago, We're out of our minds at love.
She also happens to have all the letters that Noah sent in her trunk. She tells Noah that he's basically her backup plan, and he's okay with this because he's obsessed.
Alright, well, you leave no choice then.
Suicide is never
I just see a man with no value.
She takes off once again,
But don't you take the easy way out.
showing off her terrible
Like-
driving skills. She talks to Lon.
How long can you wait for someone who don't want you?
Then you will have lost a lifelong battle of defiance against them.
But ends up messing up Noah's lawn to move in. But I guess it's his own fault since he taught her how to drive.
You're trying to kill me, woman.
Back with the geezers, she realizes that he was telling her their story.
It was us.
Back with the geezers, she realizes that he was telling her their story.
It was us. It was us.
She's now lucid and feeling randy.
Do you think that I could be her tonight?
I don't think so.
Come on, why not?
Then either forgets everything or comes to her senses about their relationship.
No! No!
Ollie, sweetheart. You don't know me, but I know me. Well, that's what we do. We fight.
Yeah, so this is the fighting
This
I've
makes Noah
been
have a
seeing
heart
all
attack.
over my
When he wakes
timeline.
up, he seems fine and tries to sneak into the psych ward to see her. Apparently, this happens so often that they just drug her now instead of trying to explain what's happening.
Well, you see, you have to get their permission first.
He breaks into her room where she remembers him again. So he's been reading her the story over and over for years, hoping that she would regain her memory. And the one time she actually remembers on her own is the one time he didn't have a chance to read to her. So now that she's showing vast improvement, this is when she's worried about losing the rest of her memory.
No one in his right mind would do that, and he wouldn't have a lunatic living in his house.
So he tells her that their love can survive anything. The nurse then finds them both dead in the morning. My guess is murder-suicide.
I'll be seeing you.
But I am curious on how he did it.
With a little help from my friends on the nursing staff.
Didn't you say people think of this as one of the greatest love stories of all time?
Well, I didn't say smart people said it. But if you look past all the toxicity, the gaslighting, and the abuse, they have a typical relationship based on being 17-year-old morons and obsession.
Well, that's really stupid.
So what do you do?
So they were 17.
No.
I subscribe to YouTube channels I think are funny.
That's lovely, dear.
So they were 17 when they met. Okay. So now we have fuller context. Yeah, I still don't see anything so extraordinary about this movie. I just feel like the story of love conquers all is in almost every love story, you know? And they get back together, they live happily ever after. Yes, this might not have been a happily ever after sort of movie in the context of she losing her memory at the latter point of her life and he, you know, trying to bring back her memory or whatever, and then they dying in the end. But for them, it's actually a happily ever after story because they were both in love. They got to die alone. They got to die together. Yeah. I wouldn't go watch the full movie now. Like, I feel like my curiosity is satisfied. These two recaps have given me what I need, you know? Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if there's something I missed, you know? For those of you who feel differently, let me know why in the comments. But for me, like, once I watch a movie recap, I'm good, you know? I'm good. Yeah, so the notebook. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype. If you want to come for me in the comments, do it respectfully. But I don't get the hype. If you enjoyed this brutally honest commentary or take of the notebook, please do like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. Bye, guys.